She stands at the crossroads. One path is familiar, filled with pain, but familiar. The other is unknown, glowing, warm, full of something new. And yet, she hesitates. Because walking away isn't easy. Because love, even when it hurts, can feel impossible to let go of. But what if staying is what's truly breaking her? What if the love she is holding on to is the very thing blocking her blessing? God is watching, and He will never keep her in a place where she is not valued. His angels are speaking, "Daughter, trust Him. He will not fail you." She wipes her tears, and for the first time she considers, what if God has something greater waiting for her? Every woman who has loved deeply knows this moment, a moment where her heart fights her mind, where her soul aches to be free, but fear grips her tightly. She stands in the middle of two choices: stay and keep trying to fix what keeps breaking her. Walk away and trust that God has something better. But here's the truth. God does not place His daughters in situations where they are unloved. He never intended love to feel like a burden, like something you must beg for, cry over, or hold together alone. So why does she feel so afraid to leave? Because the enemy whispers, "You will never find better." But God declares, "Daughter, I have prepared more than you can imagine." Maybe she hides her pain well. Maybe she smiles in public but cries in secret. Maybe she tells her friends she is fine, even when her heart is in pieces. She prays at night, asking God for a sign. She asks, "Lord, is He the one? Will He ever change?" And deep down, she already knows the answer, because God has already shown her. Through the red flags she ignored, through the exhaustion in her spirit, through the way she no longer recognizes the woman in the mirror, God is speaking, and He is telling her, "My daughter, it is time to choose yourself." Love was never meant to be a war zone. It was never meant to be a place where she has to fight for scraps of affection. It was never meant to be late-night tears and unanswered texts. Love, the kind God intended, is soft, it is warm, it is safe. So why has she convinced herself that pain is the price of love? Because somewhere along the way, she learned that loving meant enduring, but God never told her that. The world taught her that. And now, God is calling her back to the truth. He is whispering, "My love for you does not require suffering. The right love won't either." Hey, this is where faith comes in. Because leaving is scary. Because trusting in an unseen future feels impossible when all she has known is this pain. But what if she lets go and something beautiful catches her? What if she surrenders and God reveals the love she always deserved? What if she finally believes that God has not forgotten her? God has a way of replacing what was lost with something far greater. But He needs her to let go first. He needs her to trust that He will not leave her empty-handed. He needs her to walk away, even if she doesn't know what comes next. Because the next chapter of her story is already written, and it is filled with love, joy, and security in Him. All she has to do is take that first step. It won't be easy. There will be moments of doubt. There will be nights she misses Him. There will be times she wants to run back to the comfort of what she knew. But then she will remember why she left. She will remember the pain. She will remember the prayers she cried. And she will remember that God never takes without replacing. She will remind herself, "I am worthy of a love that does not hurt. I am valuable in God's eyes. I am not alone. God is walking with me." And slowly, step by step, she will find herself again. She will breathe again. She will heal. And one day, she will look back and realize leaving was the best thing she ever did, because it led her to the love God had planned all along. If you are at the crossroads right now, know this. God is not punishing you. He is preparing you. He is making space for something better, something that will not make you question your worth, something that will make you feel safe, loved, and cherished. But you have to trust Him. You have to let go of what was never meant for you. And when you do, you will see. God never takes without giving something far greater in return. Your time is coming. Your blessing is near. All you have to do is take the first step. Subscribe now to this channel to hear God's calling today and trust that He will carry you the rest of the way. Have you ever been in love with someone who slowly drains the light from your soul? A man who promises to change, but never does. A love that feels like a cycle. Good days followed by storms. Maybe you've whispered to yourself, if I just love him harder, maybe he'll love me better. If I just wait a little longer, maybe he'll change. If I leave, what if I never find someone else? But that's not love. That's fear. And fear is not from God. God never created love to break you. He never intended for His daughter to beg for the love she deserves. So why are you still holding on? Because the enemy wants you to believe you are not worthy of more. But hear this now. You are worth more. And God is waiting for you to finally see it. The exhaustion of holding on to toxic love. Loving the wrong person is like trying to hold on to fire. At first, it feels warm, safe, familiar. But the longer you hold on, the more it burns. Until one day, you look at your hands and realize you are covered in scars. Scars from the nights you stayed up crying. Scars from the words that cut you deeper than any knife ever could. Scars from the promises that were made, only to be broken again and again. And yet, you still hold on. Because the thought of letting go is more terrifying than the pain of staying. But what if I told you that holding on is what's hurting you the most? What if I told you that God is waiting for you to release what is breaking you so He can give you something greater? Breaking the cycle of pain-toxic love is a cycle. It starts with a promise that things will change, a promise that this time is different. And for a while, things do feel different, until the cycle repeats. The hurt returns, the tears fall again, the apologies come, but nothing ever truly changes. Because real change does not come from words. It comes from actions. And a man who truly values you will not put you in a position where you have to question his love. So why are you still waiting for him to change? When God is telling you, daughter, I have something better for you. The enemy's lies versus God's truth. The enemy whispers lies to keep you trapped in toxic love. You will never find anyone else. No one will love you the way He does. You are too broken to start over. But God speaks truth. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. I have plans to prosper you, not to harm you. I will give you the desires of your heart. So whose voice will you believe? The voice that keeps you in pain, or the voice that is calling you into something greater? God is waiting. Will you trust Him enough to let go? A toxic relationship feels like quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. And the worst part? You start believing the lies. The enemy whispers, you will never find someone else. No one will love you like he does. Maybe this is the best you can get, but God's truth is louder. I have plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Jeremiah 29:11. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139:14. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Deuteronomy 31:6. God's love is a shelter, not a prison. And real love does not make you question your worth. When love becomes a battle, love should not feel like survival. It should not leave you feeling exhausted, unloved, or invisible. When you are constantly walking on eggshells, when you are questioning if today will be a good day or another storm, when your heart is tired and your soul is drained, That is not love. That is bondage. And God did not create you to live in chains. If you are staying in a toxic love, hoping it will get better, ask yourself, are you growing in this relationship, or are you shrinking? Does this love make you feel safe, or does it leave you in doubt? If God was sitting beside you right now, what would he tell you? Deep down, you already know. It's time to trust him. It's time to let go, because when you do, God will replace everything you lost with something greater. Breaking free from a love that hurts, letting go does not mean you failed. It does not mean you are unlovable. It means you are choosing yourself the way God has always chosen you. It means you are making room for real love, the kind that does not break you, but heals you. And most importantly, it means you are walking in faith, not fear. God's love is calling you higher. Are you ready to answer? God never leaves his children confused. He always speaks. But sometimes we don't listen. We pray for clarity, but ignore the answer when it hurts. We ask for a sign, but stay when the sign is too painful to accept. So let's make this clear. When love is no longer love, God will show you. These signs are not coincidences. They are warnings. They are his way of whispering, "Daughter, I have something better for you." But are you listening? God does not intend for love to bring you confusion, tears, and pain. So when the relationship you are in no longer aligns with his plans, he will send you signs. Here are some of the ways he speaks to you. You feel exhausted instead of fulfilled. Love should bring peace, not constant emotional exhaustion. If you feel drained, always walking on eggshells, or constantly fixing what keeps breaking, this is not the love God planned for you. You are praying for change, but nothing improves. You have begged God to change him, to soften his heart, to open his eyes. But the truth is, God will not force a man to be the one he never chose for you. The relationship pulls you away from God. A love that is meant for you will draw you closer to God, not further away. If you find yourself compromising your faith, values, or identity just to keep the relationship, that is a warning. You feel anxious more than you feel secure. God is not the author of confusion, 1 Corinthians 14:33. If love keeps you guessing, doubting, or questioning your worth, it is not from God. You keep making excuses for his behavior. A man who is meant for you will show up for you, fully and consistently. If you find yourself justifying neglect, disrespect, or emotional harm, that is a clear sign from God. You no longer recognize yourself. If you have lost the light in your eyes, if you have changed who you are just to be enough for him, if you feel like you are just surviving instead of thriving, that is not love, that is bondage. So many women ask God, is he the one? And God answers through sleepless nights, through unexplained sadness, through a deep feeling that something is off. But instead of leaving, they say, maybe I'm expecting too much. Maybe I should just be patient. Maybe I just need to pray harder. But here's the truth. God will never send you someone who needs to be convinced to love you. You are not asking for too much. You are asking the wrong person. If God has shown you the signs, why haven't you left? Because leaving is scary. Because the enemy whispers, what if you never find someone else? What if no one loves you like he does? What if you regret leaving? But fear is not from God. 2 Timothy 1:7. Faith is trusting that what is ahead is greater than what you are leaving behind. Faith is knowing that God will never remove something without replacing it with something better. Walking away is not failure. Walking away is not weakness. Walking away is faith in action. It is saying, Lord, I trust you more than I trust my fears. It is choosing peace over pain. It is choosing God's promise over your past. And when you take that first step, God will meet you there. He will hold you up. He will heal your heart. And one day, you will look back and realize, leaving was the best thing you ever did, because it led you to the love God always intended for you. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. God has not abandoned you. He sees your tears. He hears your prayers, and He is preparing something so much greater. But first, you must let go, because the love He has for you is waiting, and it is far better than anything you are leaving behind. Trust Him, walk away, and step into the love you truly deserve. She sits in silence, staring at the ceiling, the weight of her heartache pressing down on her chest. Her prayers feel unanswered. Her soul feels abandoned. And yet, in the quiet, there is a presence, a whisper, a nudge, a feeling deep in her spirit. Daughter, I am here. It is not loud. It is not forceful. It is soft, like a gentle breeze through her soul. It is the whisper of angels, sent by God to remind her that even in her deepest sorrow, she is never alone. Heartbreak can make a woman feel like God has forgotten her. She wonders, why do I have to go through this pain? She questions, why did I love someone who was never meant for me? She doubts, if God loved me, why did He let this happen? But what she doesn't realize is that God has been speaking all along, through the sudden gut feeling that told her something wasn't right, through the song lyrics that played at just the right time, through the stranger who shared a message that felt too personal to be a coincidence. These were not random moments. They were whispers from angels. They were divine signs, guiding her away from what was harming her and toward what was meant for her. But was she listening? Angels are messengers of God, sent to comfort, guide, and protect. They do not always appear as heavenly beings with glowing wings. Sometimes they show up in ways we least expect. Here are some ways God's angels may be whispering to you. That feeling deep in your spirit. Have you ever had a gut feeling that wouldn't go away? A deep knowing that something was wrong, even when there was no evidence? That was not just intuition. That was an angel whispering. Daughter, pay attention. 2. Through dreams and visions. Have you had a dream that shook you to your core? A vision so real it felt like a warning. In the holy books, God often sent angels through dreams. He still does the same today. Chapter 3. Through unexpected encounters. A stranger who tells you exactly what you needed to hear. A sermon that speaks directly to your situation. A friend's words that feel like a direct answer to your prayer. These are not coincidences. These are angelic messages meant to give you clarity. Through sudden peace in chaos. You're crying one moment, and then suddenly peace washes over you. You feel a warmth in your chest, like someone is holding you. That is the presence of angels wrapping you in God's love. Through unexplained protection. Have you ever avoided a disaster by mere seconds? Has a delay kept you from something that could have harmed you? That was no accident. That was divine intervention. Through repeated messages. A holy verse keeps appearing in different places. The same advice is given to you by multiple people. You keep seeing the same phrase, numbers, or words everywhere you go. This is God repeating His message through angelic whispers. What happens when you ignore the whispers? Ignoring God's whispers leads to unnecessary pain. The signs become louder. The discomfort grows stronger. that a relationship that once seemed tolerable becomes unbearable, and suddenly you find yourself forced to make a choice. God does not force us to listen, but He does allow situations to intensify when we ignore His guidance. That toxic relationship that is draining you, that betrayal that keeps repeating itself, that exhaustion that won't go away, those are all warnings, signs that God has been speaking, but you have been resisting. And the truth is, resisting God's whispers will never change His message. If He is asking you to walk away, it is because He has something better ahead. It is not enough to know angels are speaking. You must be willing to listen. Here's how you can open your heart to divine whispers. Ask God to open your ears to hear His messages. Pray for the wisdom to recognize His voice. Trust that He will reveal the truth in His perfect time. Spend time in stillness. The world is loud. Social media, opinions, and distractions drown out divine whispers. Sit in silence. Breathe. Ask God to speak. Read His Word. The Holy Book is God's voice in written form. When you feel lost, open Scripture. Trust the signs you receive. Do not dismiss your intuition. Do not ignore repeated messages. If you feel something in your spirit, trust that God is showing you the way. God's angels are near. They are standing beside you, wiping your tears, whispering words of love and reassurance. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are deeply loved by the one who created you, and He will never leave you in the hands of someone who does not cherish you. Listen closely. The whispers are there. Daughter, I am here. And in this moment, you are safe in His love. She stands at the edge of a decision. Does she stay in what is familiar, even if it is breaking her, or does she let go and trust that God has something better? Letting go feels like defeat. But what if it's actually faith? What if the very thing she fears releasing is what's holding her back from her greatest blessing? God is calling her forward, and He is whispering, "Daughter, trust me." Many women believe that if they walk away, they have failed. They think, if I was stronger, I could have made it work. Or worse, if I leave, I may never find love again. But God never meant for His daughters to live in fear. Holding onto a toxic relationship is not a test of strength, it is a form of bondage. True strength is found in trusting God enough to walk away from what is no longer meant for you. If God is asking you to let go, He is preparing you for something greater. When a woman refuses to let go, she unknowingly blocks what God wants to give her. Imagine holding on to a heavy rock. It weighs you down, it drains your energy, and as long as your hands are full, you cannot receive the bag's gift that God is trying to place in them. God cannot fill hands that are clinging to the wrong thing. When you refuse to let go, you delay your healing. You misheart the new love God has for you. You settle for less than what you deserve. God cannot bless a woman who refuses to walk in faith. Why do so many women struggle to release what is hurting them? 1. Fear of loneliness. What if I never find someone else? What if I end up alone? But the truth is, being alone with God is far better than being with someone who makes you feel unloved. Fear of regret. What if I walk away and He finally changes? Or what if I never find love this strong again? But if it was meant for you, God wouldn't ask you to let it go. Fear of the unknown. What if the next man is even worse? What if I never feel this connection again? But faith is trusting that God knows what you cannot see. God is not asking you to let go to hurt you. He is asking you to let go to heal you. Letting go is not failure. It is faith in action. Letting go is not easy, but God gives us steps to follow. Acknowledge the truth. Stop pretending things will change. Stop ignoring the signs. Accept that this relationship is not from God. Pray for strength. Ask God to remove the emotional chains. Pray for healing from heartbreak. Surrender your future to Him. Cut ties completely. No late night texts. No checking in. No holding on to false hope. God cannot bring you the right man while you are still entertaining the wrong one. Fill the empty space with God. Dive into Scripture. Surround yourself with godly friends. Focus on your purpose and personal growth. Trust God's timing. He is not late. He is not withholding good from you. He is preparing something far greater than what you are leaving behind. When you let go, God steps in. He brings peace where there was pain. He brings restoration where there was heartbreak. And in His perfect timing, He brings the love that was always meant for you. So, do not fear letting go. Because letting go is not a loss, it is the beginning of something far greater. And your new beginning starts now. Heartbreak is a wound that cuts deep. It leaves behind scars, memories that replay, whispers of self-doubt, and a lingering fear that love will never come again. But God never leaves His daughters broken. He is a healer, and He is waiting for you to hand Him the shattered pieces of your heart so He can make them whole again. Many women rush their healing process. They think, if I just distract myself, I won't feel the pain. Or worse, if I find someone new, it will erase what I lost. But healing isn't about ignoring pain. It's about facing it, surrendering it, and allowing God to restore you. Healing takes time because real love doesn't disappear overnight. And that's okay. Every tear you cry is seen by God. Every ache in your heart is known by Him, and He is working in ways you cannot yet see. One of the hardest parts of healing is releasing the emotions tied to your past. Maybe you feel guilt, wondering if you could have done more. Maybe you feel anger at Him, at yourself, at the situation that broke you. Maybe you feel resentment, watching Him move on while you're left picking up the pieces. But these emotions only chain you to the past. God is asking you to release them, to give them to Him, because freedom is found in forgiveness, not for Him, but for you. God is close to the brokenhearted. He sees your pain, and He promises your healing is not just possible, it is promised. Healing is not just spiritual, it is also intentional. Pray for restoration. Ask God to heal your heart and remove anything that is not from Him. 2. Surround yourself with love. Stay close to people who uplift you, remind you of your worth, and encourage your healing. Speak life over yourself. Replace negative thoughts with God's truth. I am loved. I am chosen. God has a greater plan for me. Release what no longer serves you. Delete the old messages. Remove the reminders. Stop checking up on Him. You cannot heal in the same place that broke you. One day, love will find you again, but it will not look like the love that broke you. It will be patient, secure, God-ordained, and you will recognize it because you healed first. God is preparing your heart for something greater, and when the time is right, He will bring you a love that feels like home. Healing is a journey, but you are not walking it alone. God is with you, and He is leading you toward a future filled with love, joy, and a heart restored. Waiting is one of the hardest things to do, especially when your heart longs for love, for healing, for the right person to finally come into your life. You see others moving forward, getting married, falling in love, building families, and you wonder, God, have you forgotten me? But let this truth sink into your spirit. God's delay is not his denial. What he has for you is still coming, but it will arrive in his perfect time. This question haunts many women. You have prayed, you have waited, you have done everything you can, and still, nothing. But God's silence is not his absence. Sometimes he is preparing you. Sometimes he is protecting you. And sometimes he is strengthening you for something greater than you ever imagined. What if the delay is actually God's mercy? What if he is keeping you from heartbreak? What if he is shaping you into the woman who will be ready for the love he has planned? Love is not just about finding someone. It's about becoming the right person too. A strong, confident, spiritually grounded woman who knows her worth. God is refining you. He is teaching you how to love yourself. First, how to set boundaries. How to recognize his voice over the voice of desperation. Because when love comes, you must be ready to receive it. And that readiness only comes through the waiting season. Some women grow tired of waiting and settle for less. They choose a man who is good enough instead of the one God has chosen. But forced love never lasts a year. Relationship built on impatience will only bring more heartbreak. God is not withholding love from you. He is saving you from the wrong love. A love that will waste your time. A love that will drain your spirit. A love that will lead you further from him, not closer. Trust him. He knows what he is doing. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, God is moving. Here are some signs that he is preparing your blessing. You are healing from past wounds. God will not bring the right person until your heart is truly ready. He is closing doors that no longer serve you. If a relationship ended, trust that it was removed for a reason. You are growing spiritually and emotionally. God is molding you into the woman who can handle the love he is sending. You feel a deep sense of peace about the future. Even if you don't see it yet, God is whispering, "Trust me." Waiting is not passive, it is active faith. Here's what you can do in this season. Deepen your relationship with God. Spend time in his word. Strengthen your faith. Fall in love with God first. 2. Focus on your purpose. Your life is more than just waiting for a man. Pursue your dreams, your goals, your passions. Surround yourself with positive people. Be around those who uplift and encourage you, not those who make you feel like you are running out of time. Trust that what's meant for you will find you. God's plans are bigger than your fears, bigger than your doubts, bigger than your timeline. When the right man comes, he will not confuse you. He will not make you question your worth. He will be God's promise fulfilled. Until then, wait with faith, wait with expectation, and know that God is never late. Your blessing is on its way. For too long, you've questioned your worth. You've allowed past relationships to define you, to dictate how you see yourself. You've settled for less because deep down, you believed that was all you deserved. But no more. God is calling you higher. He is asking you to step into your worth, to see yourself the way he sees you. Because when you know your worth, you stop chasing what was never meant for you, and you start receiving what God has been waiting to give you all along. Every painful relationship leaves a mark. Maybe he made you feel like you weren't enough. Maybe he made you doubt your beauty, your intelligence, your value. But those lies have no place in your future. The enemy wants you to stay trapped in self-doubt. But God says, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. When you believe this, everything changes. You stop trying to prove yourself to people who don't deserve you. You stop seeking validation from those who never valued you, because your worth was never in their hands to begin with. You are not broken, beyond repair. You are not too much or not enough. You are God's beloved daughter, worthy of love, respect, and honor. But until you believe this, you will continue to attract relationships that mirror your doubts. You will accept love that reflects how you see yourself. So how do you change this? You renew your mind with God's truth. Start speaking life over yourself. I am chosen. I am loved unconditionally. I am worthy of a love that reflects God's heart. Say it until you believe it. Because the moment you do, you will never again accept anything less than God's best for you. Real love isn't confusing. It isn't hot and cold. It doesn't make you beg, question, or feel small. The right man will see your worth because he is sent by God. He won't play games. He won't make excuses. He will pursue you with clarity, honor, and intention. So if a man is making you feel uncertain about where you stand, he is not the one. A love that comes from God will feel secure, peaceful, and whole, because that's the kind of love you were created for. When you know your worth, you walk differently. You set boundaries without guilt. You no longer entertain relationships that drain you. You choose peace over chaos, and you refuse to settle just because you're tired of waiting. This is what it means to step into your worth, and when you do, something powerful happens. You start attracting the right kind of love. God isn't just preparing a man for you. He is preparing you for him. The right man will not complete you. He will complement you. But first, you must become the woman who is ready to receive that love. So start today. Step into your worth. See yourself the way God sees you, and trust that the love he has for you is worth the wait. My friend, if you've ever felt like love has been nothing but pain and heartbreak, I want you to listen closely. God's plan for you is greater than anything you've experienced before. But before we dive in, I want to ask you something. Do you believe that God is preparing a love that will bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment? If your heart says, yes, then do this one thing right now. Subscribe to this channel. Because the truth is, if you're not consistently hearing these messages of faith, hope, and love, how will you ever receive what God has in store for you? Many people allow distractions, doubts, and worldly noise to steal their blessings. Don't let that be you. If you truly believe in the promises God has for you, then stay connected. Subscribe now and let's walk this journey together. Trusting that God's plan is better than your past. Sometimes God closes doors because he hears conversations you didn't. He sees betrayals before they happen. If someone left your life, it wasn't by accident. It was divine protection. But here's where many people get stuck. They keep looking back. They keep replaying old memories. They wonder what they could have done differently. They try to fix what God already removed. But you cannot receive what is coming if you are still holding on to what was. Recognizing the love God has designed for you. Many people mistake lust, obsession, or attachment for love. But God's love is different. It doesn't manipulate, force, or control. True love waits and works according to God's timing, but he prepares it for people who are ready. And if you're watching this right now, it's because God is preparing you. He is making sure you are in position to receive. That's why it's important to stay connected. Subscribe now, because this is only the beginning of what God is about to do in your life. Allowing yourself to receive love without fear. Pray for discernment. Ask God to give you wisdom to recognize what is truly from Him. Release control. Stop trying to force love and allow it to flow naturally. Speak life over your love life. Stop saying, "I always attract the wrong people," and start declaring, "God is bringing the right love into my life." If you believe this, type Amen in the comments right now and declare that love is on the way. Understanding how this love will be different. You won't have to beg for attention. You won't have to question if they love you. You won't have to shrink yourself to be accepted. God is leading you to a love that will be faithful. They won't betray your trust. Intentional. They will actively choose you every day. God-centered. They will love God more than they love you, and that will make their love pure. If you're ready for this kind of love, comment, "I receive it" below, and let heaven know you are prepared. Final words. Don't miss this blessing. God has spoken today. The love you desire is on the way. But here's the key. You must stay aligned, and alignment starts with a faith and connection. So don't just watch and leave. Make a decision right now. Subscribe to this channel if you believe God is moving in your life. Turn on notifications so you never miss another message. Comment, "I receive it," to declare your blessing. Because the truth is, blessings come to those who are ready. And right now, God is preparing you for something greater. If you're ready, subscribe now and let's walk into this new season together. May God bless you, guide you, and prepare you for the love He has in store. Amen.